Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, you're very welcome. Just take a seat because there is bad news for prospective international students in the UK. It might not be bad news to all prospective international students, but I'm definitely sure that majority of prospective international students to the UK will not like this news. Now, the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, has made a proposal which is going to come into effect in January 2024. I'm just going to give a summary of what this policy is going to be about. The policy majorly affects three positions, three areas, okay, that international students are concerned with. The first one is that prospective international students will no longer be able to come to the UK with their dependents. From January 2024, prospective international students to undergraduate degrees and master's degrees will no longer be able to come to the UK with their dependents. However, for prospective international students, intending to pursue a PhD degree, which is between 3 to 5 years, will be able to come to the UK with their dependents. Remember that previously, once you have a student visa, as long as you're going for a master's degree, no matter how short your program is, as long as you have a valid student visa, you are entitled to bring as many dependents as you have. UK has exceeded their target for net migration, so now they want to clamp it down. And the very first step in doing that is to ensure that prospective international students going to undergraduate degrees or master's degrees will no longer be allowed to bring their dependents to the UK. This does not affect people who intend to pursue a PhD. And of course, the rationale for this is that a PhD is 3 years and above, but a master's degree is 1 year. So that's it. That's point number one. I'm still going to refer you guys to the news. I'm going to read the news, but I know that some people just like a summary of the story. So I don't want you guys to, waste time. That's why I'm just giving it to you, because I don't want to waste time. The second point is that international students holding a student visa in the UK will no longer be allowed to switch from a student visa to a work visa without first completing their studies. Remember that on this channel, I have previously shared that international students can switch from a student visa to a skilled worker visa when they get a job, whether or not they are able to finish their studies and pass. Now, what is going to come into effect from January 2024 is that if you're an international student, if you are holding a student visa in the UK, you will no longer be allowed, or you will no longer be able to switch from that student visa to a skilled worker visa or another work visa until you finish your studies. What does this mean? This means that if you have a student visa, you will come into the UK, you can work with your student visa for up to 20 hours, but you first have to finish your studies, complete your studies, pass your exams, and then you can now switch to any other work visa of your choice. So that's the second point. If this is not clear, or if you have any questions, definitely put it down in the comment section. Now, the third point is that the government will review the proof of funds, the funds that international students will show in their bank account, as proof of funds that will be able to sustain them throughout their studies. Remember that currently, you have to show proof of funds. The amount of proof of funds you have to show depends on whether you are in London or you are studying outside London. So if you are studying within London, it's usually around 1,300 and something, and if you're studying outside London, it's usually around 1,024 pounds something, and then you have to show that for 9 months, and then the outstanding part of your tuition fees. Now the government is saying that they are also going to review that amount, so apparently it means it's going to be higher, because that's what it means. It's going to be higher. It means your proof of funds now is going to be higher. Those are the 3 points that are being raised and that are going to come into effect from January 2024. So I'm going to just go through the news and just read for you guys to see, especially for those who want to see the source of this information. For me, I usually go straight to the UK government website for whatever information I want to share with you guys. So I came here to www.gov.uk. Under news, you would see that this news was published on 23rd May 2023. The title of the news is Changes to Student Visa Route Will Reduce Net Migration. New government restriction to student visa routes will cut net migration while protecting the economic benefits students bring to the UK. New government restrictions to student visa routes will substantially cut net migration by restricting the ability for international students to bring their family members on all but postgraduate research routes and banning people from using a student visa as a backdoor route to work in the UK. So apparently some people will come into the UK with a student visa, will not complete their studies, switch to a work visa, and that was not wrong because it was valid, but now it is no longer going to be valid from January 2024. The new reforms will come into effect for students starting in January next year. To prevent misuse of the visa system, overseas students will be stopped from switching from the student visa route into work route until their studies have been completed. The government will also review the funds students must have to demonstrate they can look after themselves and their dependents in the UK, as well as clamp down on unscrupulous international student agents who may be supporting inappropriate applications. So I'm going to leave the link to this news in the description box so that you can read the full news. So it says, Education Secretary Gillian Kagan says, attracting the top students from around the world isn't just good for our universities, it's essential for our economy and building vital global relationships. But the number of family members being brought to the UK by students has risen significantly. It is right we are taking action to reduce this number while maintaining commitment to our international education strategy. So at the end of the day, that is what the new policy is about. The first one is that international students will no longer be able to come with their dependents to the UK from January 2023, except you are studying a PhD, which would last you between 3 to 5 years. The second news is that international students will no longer be able to switch from a student visa to a work visa until they have completed their studies. The third one is that proof of funds, the amount for proof of funds will be reviewed, which I personally believe it's going to be reviewed upwards. So that means the amount they are going to need for proof of funds would be higher. And I'm sure that they will also try to make policies whereby, they will ensure that, okay, this money belongs to you, or when you put the money and show as proof, you don't take it out immediately. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to put the link to the news in the description box of this video so that you can, go and read the news for yourself. What you need to know is that this does not affect international students that are coming to the UK in 2023. So this is May, so by September is going to be a new academic session. People have already made their applications, submitted, they are getting cash already, getting offers. I'm sure that most of you will be worried, oh, what's going to happen to me? If you are coming to the UK before 1st January 2024, then these policies will not affect you. This means you can still bring your dependents to the UK. You can still switch from a student visa to a work visa before you finish your studies. The proof of funds are as it is currently. It has not changed, so these policies will not affect you. What would I say? I would say that if you've ever had plans to come to the UK to study and maybe you were thinking, should I do September this year or should I do January next year, abort that January mission. Just do it September this year if you have dependents. Okay, do it September this year if you have dependents, and even if you don't have dependents, I'll still advise or recommend that you do it September this year. That's because you don't know how much they are going to now impose as proof of funds in January. You don't know, and then you don't even know the policies that will come with it, the whole proof of funds drama. So that's it. And also be careful. If you check through this channel, you see a lot of information, genuine information that can help you make your applications yourself. Do not work with agents that will deceive you and say that, oh, they can get your admissions when truly they cannot. Okay, just be careful out there. Always verify any information you share. And trust me, I wouldn't have brought this news if I did not see it on the UK government website. The rumors, I started hearing the rumors from over the weekend. People started talking about it over the weekend, but I didn't want to share it because I was like, where is the official publication? If I do not see something on the official UK government website, I'm not going to share it. That's why I have shared this one. That is why I have shared this news. So yes, that's it guys. Like this video, share it with people you know that will benefit from the information. Also, if you are planning to study in the UK in September, make sure you visit Amber Student Platform to check and book your student accommodation so that you will not have issues that other international students are having with student accommodation. Amber Students is a platform that offers student accommodation to international students in the UK, to all students in the UK. But of course, international students are the target audience because we usually don't have accommodation when we come to the UK. So check the description box to this video. You'll see the link to visit Amber Students. You will go through their website. You see all the accommodation options. You filter based on your university, based on where you want to live, based on the kind of accommodation you want to live, and then they will give you the options available, and they'll also ensure that you are able to book your accommodation even before you travel to the UK. Of course, you know that there's housing crisis, so you want to avoid that. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope that you learned something. Make sure to drop a comment. What do you think? Do you think that this is going to drastically affect how much international students come to the UK? Do you think that because they will no longer bring their dependents as master's degree students, that people will no longer want to come to the UK to study? Or do you think it doesn't matter? People will still come. What you need to know is that this does not affect the graduate route. Remember that when you finish studying in the UK, if you studied as an undergraduate or postgraduate student, you'll be entitled to 2 years graduate visa. So that 2 years graduate visa means you don't need a job to stay in the UK. Once you pass your exams, you've proven that you've completed your studies as a student in the UK, you'll be given a graduate visa for 2 years. That will not, this policy that is coming in January is not going to affect the 2 years graduate visa for undergraduate and master's degree. Although the graduate visa for postgraduate PhDs is 3 years. So of course, this policy is not even affecting PhDs at all. So that's what I want you to know. I want you to understand that this policy that is coming in January is only about dependents. It does not have anything to do with getting the post-study visa. If anything changes, or if anything is going to change regarding the post-study visa, you guys will be the first to know, because I would always bring it. I'll always let you guys know. So that's it. But let me know what you think. Do you think that despite the post-study visa opportunity or graduate visa opportunity, that as long as they have clamped down on bringing dependents, do you think it's going to drastically reduce the number of international students in the UK? For me, I think that it would have an impact on it. It will have an impact on how many people are now interested in coming to the UK. It will have an impact on making people look to other countries that are more favorable for their plans. Okay, it will definitely have an impact, but how much impact it will have, I don't know about that. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do well to like this video, share this video to people you know it will help. Subscribe to the channel. Look through the channel. You're going to see a lot of information that will help you. I have been sharing a lot of content on how to get your ideal job in the UK, even from your country. So everything is not about study. Sometimes you just get a job in your profession, come to the UK, and don't be stressed, because this whole student visa drama is so stressing and I cannot even deal with it. Anyways, that's it guys. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.